Welcome to the best of Season 7. So far, this episode, which is titled Unfinished Business, is almost purely action-packed, and it does it so well. After the last episode where Echo was saved from his captivity, he's become a valuable asset to the Republic Army. This episode ends up being centered around his plan to win the Battle of Anaxus, alongside the Republic. The Bad Batch, however, ends up being very suspicious of Echo's loyalty throughout this episode, but there's always Rex around him to stick up for him. The Bad Batch, Anakin, Rex, and Echo all team up on a mission to help Windu and Obi-Wan during their battle against Admiral Trench and his many droids. Once again, the mission is supposed to be a stealth mission, but at this point, we all know stealth missions never stay stealthy. It's basically the exact opposite of Anakin to be stealthy in any situation. The plan during this mission isn't ever fully explained until Echo puts it into action, and no one on either side of Windu's team or Anakin's team knows fully what Echo's plan is. Yes, shock value is a thing and the suspense of, oh no, is Echo going to turn on the Republic? But at the same time, you need some level of realism that the generals in the war should know the plan. The plan we find out is basically this. While Windu and Obi-Wan attack the main front of the base and attempt to break in and win a battle of attrition, Anakin and the crew sneak in to locate a terminal to trick Trench into a trap. This links back to the previous episode and how Echo is now capable of seeing and interacting with the Separatist computers. Now, during this mission, a few things happen, which I will discuss. First of which is Windu, after breaking in, decides to ask the droids to surrender and be reprogrammed. And it's very out of character that this happens at all. Obi-Wan even noticed this with the look he gave Windu during his little speech. Windu has never been one for humor. Maybe dry humor, but this was out of place. What he said is more Anakin, Obi-Wan, or an Ahsoka thing to say. The Jedi who aren't as dogmatic towards the Order as Windu and Yoda. Secondly, during this plan, Wrecker is also very trigger-happy and blowing everything up. Which leads me to think that the Bad Batch, in all likelihood, does not have the same control trip that the other clones have. This is because the control trip is designed to limit their individuality, and the tendency towards anger is supposed to be repressed. That existed in the original Jango Fett, and he was very individuality, he did his own thing, he did whatever he wanted. However, clearly Wrecker and the Bad Batch itself is built upon individuality. Obviously, this is mere speculation, but it seems likely that none of them have the same control trip as most clones, considering how elevated their own senses, individuality, and ability to be whoever they want to be. Anyway, Echo's plan ends up being to lure all the droids to Windu and Obi-Wan before short-circuiting them all at once and winning the battle in one fell swoop. The plan ends up being a resounding success, but as we see, Trench isn't as incompetent as most generals in the Separatist army, and he has a bomb set up to blow up the base. With this in mind, Windu and Anakin run to separate locations to stop the bomb. Windu goes directly to the bomb to defuse it, and Anakin heads to Trench to get the code to defuse the bomb. Windu, with Echo's help, gets all the numbers of the code to defuse the bomb, except for 1. Following that, Echo and the Bad Batch are forced to run away and escape the base. While this is occurring, Anakin's scene takes place, where he gets the digit for the last of the code. This is the highlight of the episode by far. Anakin's scene, however long it is during this episode, makes this episode what it is. Anakin is fucking pissed off. He is not taking any shit here. He walks in with his face of pure rage, and the droids are annihilated immediately when he walks in. Not only that, but when he confronted with the argument of
You're a Jedi. I don't have such weaknesses.
Anakin goes full dark side Vader mode in this scene. Anakin ends up getting the code to give to Windu, and Afterwards is attacked by Trench. And can I just say, Anakin really needs to stop getting electrocuted. Come on, haven't you learned by now? I swear, every episode he's in, at some point, he gets electrocuted. Now, Trench is then murdered, and Anakin does not care at all for what he did. The music afterwards is filled with foreboding, and it sounds like something that would be behind a villain on screen. The tone is evil, is what I'm going with here. It doesn't care that he's a good guy on screen. It goes, this is now Vader in this scene. The beginning of the episode, he was Anakin Skywalker, but the second he hits that room with Trench, he goes full on Vader. Anakin didn't just switch sides in Revenge of the Sith. This shows Vader was very clearly hidden just underneath Anakin's regular persona. It shows Anakin at the end of the Clone Wars wasn't really a Jedi anymore.
I don't have such weaknesses.
He enjoyed killing Trench, even after the fact. Before he's leaving the room, he says, "It was a pleasure, Admiral." Anakin meets up with the Bad Batch after getting a detonator from the Admiral's quarters, and they all escape Trench's ship. At the end of the episode, Anakin is a real sweetheart at the end, and lets Wrecker blow up all the ships. With that, the episode wraps up. Echo realizes that everything he's been through, he's not a regular clone anymore, and that his place is in the Bad Batch. Rex is alone without his squadron again, but he's proud of Echo found his place, and he's happy. Echo's alive. Overall, the episode was highly action-packed. Anakin's scene made this episode what it was, and the episode being longer than it was, longer than the last episode, definitely improved it. It gave the episode more time to flesh things out, gave the character motivations and thoughts time to develop and grow. Out of the 4 we've seen so far of this season, this is the best episode so far, and it ended on an explosive note. Looking forward to what they have next time. Hopefully, with everything going on, Disney will still be able to pump out episodes consistently every week. But if they don't end up pumping out the episodes continuously, I'll find something else to talk about, I'm sure. But Anakin's scene made this episode what it is. We got to see Jedi in action. We got to see Echo do his thing. He's now a part of the Bad Batch. This marks the end of the Bad Batch arc. And moving on, it'll probably be the Ahsoka arc or the Crisis at Utappa arc. Looking forward to that.